You're listening to another episode of the Just Go Bike podcast powered by RAGBRAI. This is the award-winning podcast where we are all about the culture of cycling just for the fun of it. Your hosts are Murph from the Murphology podcast and AP from Parrot Talk. With tales from all over the nation, come for the bikes, stay for the fun, and leave with a smile. And now here is Murph.
Hey, that's me.
And AP.
Hey, that's me.
Hello, AP.
Hi, Murph.
Here we are live, Parrot Talk Studios, coming at ya.
And we're looking good today.
We are. Oh my gosh. So we are wearing, listeners who are watching video on YouTube, we are wearing our, well, we call them our uniforms, right? You see us wearing these shirts a lot. And you may think it's the same shirt we've been wearing for years, but
we just got some brand new uniform shirts from Primal Wear.
yes, these, I believe they're called the Aturan.
They're called the Aturan, and we have the women's version of the Aturan, so they fit nicely, and they're quite vibrant and lightweight.
And I will tell you, I was doing a little dance, and I asked AP, can I dance in this shirt? And she said no.
I said, you're dancing right now.
But the cool thing about these shirts, I believe the men's Aturan shirts are available through RAGBRAI with the RAGBRAI logo on them. And I love them because they're snaps.
Yeah.
And they have little zipper pockets on the back.
I have 2 pockets.
But I love these specifically because they are Just Go Bike.
That's right.
So,
and ours have a little front pocket too it's where I put my phone sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, here we are live together, and we have a pretty fun episode that is on the horizon.
Yeah. So for this episode, we put together some of our very favorite things from the RAGBRAI Route Inspection that we only just completed because during the route inspection, we do record every day, as you well know, but we can't cover everything.
Yeah.
And there's just so much to share about our journey across the state.
Yep.
We had to talk about it a little more.
Yep. So we came up with the top 10, what I title it, the top 10 must-see places found on RAGBRAI. And when we picked these top 10, we were specific to point out places to see that even after RAGBRAI, you can come back to that community and see them. So I would say there are probably 100, but we went down to 10.
Yeah.
And we have a bonus. So we actually have 11. So yeah.
We turn it up to 11 on this podcast.
That's right.
Yeah.
And a side note, on my way here to Des Moines to Parrot Talk Studios, I got to give a really quick crop report because the corn, we've had a lot of like crazy rain and storms and thunder and lightning. And I've heard that lightning does a lot for the crops outside.
It does?
Yeah.
Okay.
Google it. So anyway, the corn looked so like fresh, full, green, and probably for me at my height, it was probably waist high.
Wow.
So don't you worry, listeners. By the time we get to RAGBRAI, that corn will be high enough that you can go pee in there.
Well, that's all we really need. It's funny you gave a crop report because I was giving you my own crop report right before we pressed record.
Yeah. Do you want to tell everybody your crop report?
Yeah. I got 4 strawberries the other day and a handful of raspberries. So we're berrying.
We're berrying?
Yeah. We're fully buried.
How does the first round of strawberries, do they actually taste like strawberries? Are they like, oh my gosh, great? Or are they like, meh?
They're neon red and they're so good.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm really sorry. I should have saved you one, but me and the dogs ate them all. So.
All right. Well, let's get to our top 10 must-see places. And like we said, this is being recorded both audio and visual, I guess you'd say.
You might say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tune over, go over to YouTube and tune in and you can hear us, even with these bloopers.
We will be right back.
Dear Friday, Toyota says let's put good times in gear with the Tundra, Tacoma, and 4Runner. Want some cool available features? We've got power tailgates to power game days and a trailer backup guide that's the champ of the ramp. Heck, we might even cancel Monday. Toyota Trucks. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Now, back to the show.
All right, we're back for Murph and AP's top 10 must-see places found on RAGBRAI 53 or RAGBRAI LIII or 2026 RAGBRAI, whatever you want to call it.
I'm calling it an Iowa classic.
Well, that is true. Yeah. So these are 10 of many things that you should make sure that you see when you're on RAGBRAI, or make sure that you come back after RAGBRAI.
Yeah, for this list specifically, we highlighted items that you could go and see any time of the year, from a bicycle, from a car, maybe even from foot if you wanted to walk long enough. But these are all things that are, year-round attractions.
And I did put them in order of west side of the state to east side of the state. So they're not alphabetical or our favorites. They are specifically designed to take you on a little tour of Iowa.
That's right. It's delightful. Yeah. Again, underlining, not necessarily our favorites, not necessarily certainly not the only things to see on the route.
Right.
But we thought we'd highlight some for you.
Right. So push pause, go grab a piece of paper and a pen and take some notes. So, okay, AP, give us the first of the top 10.
All right. The first one is from day one of the RAGBRAI route, and it's in Erling, which is in the second half of your day. As you exit Erling, make sure you stop by the Shelby County Freedom Rock. And riders of RAGBRAI will definitely recognize Freedom Rocks. There's one in every county in Iowa. So it's a really cool attraction. It's hard to miss.
And these are basically boulders, and most of them have either 4 sides or 3 sides. So they're painted on each side. But they've all been created and painted by an Iowa artist named Ray Swanson II, and he goes by Bubba. So this specific one, Shelby County Freedom Rock, was dedicated in 2013.
That's 1 year after I started working for RAGBRAI. So that's special. Okay. It honors local veterans and military heroes, just like many of the Freedom Rocks do. But this one notably features Erling native Lieutenant Colonel Paul Finken, who was killed in action in Iraq.
And AP kind of gave an idea. It's kind of on your way out of town. But if you want to, maybe you're going to take a tour of Iowa and you want to see more Freedom Rocks, just go to thefreedomrock.com and it will give you all the locations where Ray Swanson, a.k.a. Bubba, has been and painted.
Yeah, you'll find a lot of Freedom Rocks along the route this year. So I would suggest you go to that website, thefreedomrock.com, and see what else you might have in store for you.
Okay, from Erling, our next must-see place is in the town of Elkhorn. And not 1, not 2, but 3 things that you guys need to make sure that you see.
Yeah, Elkhorn is known as the largest rural Danish settlement in the United States. So they have a lot of Danish ancestry, a lot of things that embody that in town. Most notably is the Museum of Danish America, which is just on the close edge of town if you're coming in on the RAGBRAI route.
Yeah, I remember when we were riding this during the inspection ride, I felt like we were rural. It was kind of in the middle of nowhere, and we came like around a corner or up a hill, and there was this beautiful building, like very modern looking. But this is a multi-level museum offering, I would say, like a comprehensive look at Danish American history. They've got authentic artifacts, they've got ceramics, they've got interactive exhibits, which one of those interactive exhibits you interacted with.
I sure did. They have a Lego exhibit. It's like a wall of Legos. I did write RAGBRAI in Legos on the wall, although who knows if it's still there by now. I'm sure a lot of people use that exhibit. So it was really, really neat. We only really dipped a toe in the museum.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's large. So make sure you spend a little time or save a little time to spend in the museum.
Yep. And then there's a beautiful grounds connected to it. They have like a winding trail that provides, at least when we were there, like spring flowers. And I'm sure in the summertime it's even going to be more robust. But there are gardens. And we took this prairie walk. I think it was maybe 3 to 5 minutes on a walk. And you have to tell everybody what we saw. You cannot see this from the RAGBRAI route. You cannot see it from the museum. So we're telling you here, listeners, you have to take that walk.
Take the walk behind the museum. It starts at a sculpture of I think it's a swan, and then like a Hans Christian Andersen throwback. But anyway, you walk past the swan and keep going. And there in the middle of a clearing is the Dambo troll.
It is amazing.
It's large. It's a giant wooden troll. And this is about a 5-minute walk. I guess it depends on how fast you walk.
Yeah.
But it's a troll named Fjord the Ferryman. And it was created by world-renowned Danish recycle artist named Thomas Dambo.
And this particular troll is a 25-foot tall sculpture built from reclaimed, recycled wood. And it basically is like you can get in it. This troll is in a boat, and it's a female, right? Fjord?
I think so, yeah.
She is basically in this boat, like rowing. It's a 40-foot boat. And in theory, she's rowing across the prairie. So you can actually climb up into the boat. Her feet alone were probably, 3 feet wide?
They were huge, and we were delighted to see that her feet have little toes on it.
Yes, they do.
It's such a cool, well thought out sculpture, and they encourage you to climb on the sculpture, get your picture, and just really enjoy.
Yep. So Thomas Dambo has trolls, I'm going to say hidden, because just like this one, if you didn't know it was there, you would have to stumble upon it, or somebody would need to tell you. But Dambo has trolls hidden worldwide, and he has a goal to have at least one troll in all 50 states.
Wow.
And I believe last time I looked, there are about 20 states that have them right now.
Okay. Yeah. We are so excited. Iowa is lucky enough to have 5 trolls.
So cool.
So we have the one here in Elkhorn, and then we have 4 in Clinton.
Yeah. So find out more, Thomas Dambo, it's Dambo, thomasdambo.com. And he's a young guy, so I think that this is going to go on for a while.
Yeah.
But they are really unique. I wouldn't mind having one of these trolls where I live in my hometown, but it's nice to be able to drive to one.
Yeah.
Or actually for us, we biked to one.
Biked to one.
Yeah.
So we're not done with Elkhorn yet. Just a little bit further down the road, we've come across the Danish windmill. And when I say Danish windmill, it is a real Danish windmill that was used in the past to grind different grains and could be used now if they so chose. Yeah. So it was built in 1848 in Denmark, and it was completely dismantled and reassembled back in Iowa.
Yep. And you can tour the mill, you can shop for imported Danish goods, and you can see the replica of Viking smithy on the grounds.
Very good. Well, I'm excited. And then you head on all the way into Elkhorn and you have all your delicious Danish foods.
Oh my gosh,
but
yeah.
That's for another podcast. But
well, and hopefully you'll all get to get a taste when you're there on RAGBRAI.
Yeah. So that was all the good things to see in Elkhorn, and we move on down the road to Panora. And there is a public library called the Nora Public Library. And this was also something that me and another pre-writer, Dano, kind of stumbled on. It's basically at the kind of the town square where it's a park all the way around the main building. And the library is within that square. And they have, I'm going to call it an outdoor musical instrument park. Okay.
Because they're all taller than me type instruments.
Yeah.
Where you can play like a kind of a xylophone, or they almost look like organ pipes. That you can play. I felt like it was kind of hidden, but it's a free community space located in the heart of the town square.
Yeah. If you see the bell sort of on the top of a tower, you're almost there. I was over there taking pictures of something else, and I look around and it looked like you and Dana were in the Blue Man Group all of a sudden, playing the xylophones and like getting down. It's a pretty cool thing to just sort of have outside in your library.
Yeah. And I don't know if it'll be there when we come through in July, but they also had like a table tennis.
Oh, cool.
Where I don't remember seeing the balls, but they had the paddles. So they must just live there year round, but it was cool. And also there is a giant blue Adirondack chair that says Panora that I believe both of us, we got a picture of us on it.
I think individually and separately, and together.
Too.
Yeah. All right. So then we go on our merry way, and we hit the next must-see place on our list, which is
Perry, Iowa, and we stopped at the Hotel Pattee.
Yeah, and this one is a classic in the Iowa cycling scene. If you've never been there, I highly encourage you to stop. There's a lot to see and do in Perry, but the Hotel Pattee is sort of the gem in the crown. It was named after DJ Patty, the father of two brothers who built the hotel. And it opened in 1913. And
Wow.
It's just gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. It features a beautiful lobby area. So even if you're not staying at the Hotel Patty, you can walk in and tour this lobby area. It has a library in it. It has a bowling alley in the basement. And fun fact, you and I were there for somebody's birthday party like many years ago, and I chose not to wear bowling shoes, and I fell flat on my face after putting the ball down the alley.
Yeah, it was a real that was a real strike on your part. But
Did I get a strike? It doesn't matter, right?
yeah, well, we won't say. We'll leave that to the imagination. But
Yeah.
it's a real bowling alley. They also have a cafe, which we had lunch at.
Yes, and then I think they also have like a fancier restaurant. I've had breakfast in there a few times, but so this hotel only has 40 rooms. Even though when you're outside, it looks very grand and huge, but 40 rooms, and each room is decorated to celebrate either the history or a specific tradition or people that make up the region.
Including the RAGBRAI Room, which we think is the most notable.
That's right.
And as a fun fact, in 1963, 16 of the rooms were remodeled into just 4 apartment, and rent was $115 a month.
Wow. $115 for this is huge. Yeah.
I'd sign that lease.
And when we came through on the route inspection ride, they allowed us to tour the RAGBRAI room. So they have like caricatures of important people in RAGBRAI history. And one of them was Dan McKay, and he was actually with us on the route inspection. So that was really cool to know that somebody who's permanently on this wall was also in our midst.
Still involved in RAGBRAI today.
Yep.
So that's really one of the special things about having Dan on the team.
Yep.
But when you come outside of the Hotel Patty, there is a little court called the Sumas Court. I might have said that wrong, but it's a beautiful outdoor gathering place with sculptures and public art. So go out there, take a little rest, and enjoy.
Yes. And you kind of mentioned this at the beginning, but Perry is considered a major hub for central Iowa biking. Like the Raccoon River Valley Trail goes right through Perry. It's also a connector trail that leads to the High Trestle Trail. And we're not going to see it on RAGBRAI, but I will also just say as a plus, you should come back to the area and explore the High Trestle Trail and see the iconic High Trestle Bridge.
Yeah, and that's coming from someone who does not like heights. You know that's a solid recommendation.
And Andrea, while we're talking about the High Trestle Bridge, what body of water is underneath it?
It's like a gorge. I get a lot of grief because I called it a gorge one time, but
Yeah.
it is a riverbed.
It is.
And it is quite far below the bridge. It's our very own Des Moines River.
Yes. Okay. So
Yeah.
I'm sure Scott Olson right now is giggling because he made fun of you several times.
It's a canyon. Yeah. I mean, it feels like it from up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you feel like exploring more about the Hotel Patty and you're just, want to do some doom scrolling, it's an amazing, if you go to their website and you look at the history of how many times it's changed ownership, how many times it's been remodeled. The Hotel Patty, it's amazing that it even still stands today.
Yeah.
It has been remodeled a gazillion times. And right now when you walk in, you feel like you're walking into 1913.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
It is cool.
Yeah. All right. So from there, we wheeled on into, we wheeled, but you could wheel by car or bike to Boone. And Murph and I had a little special treat in that we got to check this location out.
Yes. So there is a recreation area called the Seven Oaks Recreation Center, or I'm going to just say area, because they offer year-round outdoor recreation, known specifically for winter skiing, because when you first pull in, you can see where the ski routes are, the slopes, and you can see the ski lifts. And fun fact, we actually got to ride on the ski lift.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. There is actually nothing like riding a ski lift in the summertime. There's a cool breeze. The grass is blowing below you. It's just very peaceful and a nice way to unwind after a bike ride.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
But Seven Oaks Recreation, they let us kind of tour the entire facility. So they're known for the winter skiing, snowboarding, but they also, like right now in the summertime, they offer canoeing, kayaking, tubing on same river we just spoke of, the Des Moines River.
Yeah, and some special events there too. Like they were set up for a sort of an obstacle course run. I can't remember the name of the series. Gladiator series. For people to come participate in, and they were also hosting an archery competition. Or to doesn't always have to be sports. They also have a beautiful large event area within the lodge where you could have a wedding or some kind of meeting. It was really nice. Everything was really well renovated or kept up.
Yeah. So I think Seven Oaks is a place that you can go any time of the year and find something to do. I just thought it was an amazing space.
Yeah, it was really cool. All right, from there, let's go to our next highlight in Nevada, Iowa.
Is it Nevada or Nevada?
Well, it's Nevada.
Although we should say, fun fact, I think we spoke about it when we did our daily recaps, but Nevada is going to be having a theme of Las Vegas, Nevada.
They are.
Super fun.
Just to kind of confuse things a little further. And they said, whatever happens in Nevada stays in Nevada, but what happens in Nevada, tell everybody.
That's right.
So that's what we're doing.
Yep. Okay. So we got to tour what's called the Camelot Theater, which opened way back in 1928. And it was very fancy back in 1928 because they had over 700 seats. They were the kind that swivel back or rock back and forth.
Yeah, like kind of reclining almost.
And real squishy, like very overly upholstered, so it was very comfortable. 700 seats. They had an in-house orchestra, and they had what we now think of as non-negotiable. It had air conditioning.
Yeah. And for me, one of the most beautiful, noteworthy parts is that inside the theater area, it's very like classical Italian themed. So it's almost like being in a courtyard of a villa, but then in the ceiling, it's dappled with little lights. So it looks like stars shining down on you while you're watching whatever performance you're watching. So it's just really kind of magical in there. And as you had better stop there during RAGBRAI because they'll be raising money to fix their marquee sign during RAGBRAI. And I hope we help them exceed their goal.
Yeah, it's like a classic marquee when you're outside on the street, the classic with the light bulbs and the name Camelot in there. So they want to upgrade that. So that's what they're raising money for. And they still regularly have movies. They show movies and they also host performances. So when you listen to our episode where we talk about the towns, we may, if we know for sure, we'll mention it in the future if they decide what they're going to do that day. But I think at the time of this recording, they had not decided yet.
Yeah. So that was a really cool stop. And I hope you stop there too. Okay. So then we venture down the road to Marshalltown, which is actually an overnight town. A little bit that and Boone we've highlighted on this list. In Marshalltown, we stopped at a really, really big attraction.
Yes, it is called the Trowel, which is not to be confused with the troll that we talked about earlier. This is a trowel.
Yeah.
Marshalltown is home. Okay, is everybody listening? Write this down. Marshalltown is home to the tallest round-handled brick trowel in the world.
Wow. And how tall is that?
It stands 32 feet tall and weighs 1,800 pounds. Although we didn't try and lift it, it is a permanent sculpture. So don't worry about it. You do not have to lift it.
Thank goodness, because I don't think I'm up to that weightlifting category yet.
Right. So you're probably wondering, why is the world's biggest trowel in Marshalltown?
Well, I'll tell you. In the 1990s, Marshalltown had a business formerly known as the Marshalltown Trowel Company. And it was apparently the first manufacturer to put a soft gripped handle on a construction tool, which changed the industry, at least in comfort.
Yeah.
So, of course, this sculpture shows off the DuraSoft handle.
Yeah. Can you think about that? Like before they had the soft one, the bricklayers were just literally getting blisters and all that good stuff. And now they have this. Yeah. And interesting fact, that business you mentioned, formerly known as Marshalltown Trowel Company, is now literally the company name is Marshalltown.
Oh, cool.
So you could be like, I work at Marshalltown in Marshalltown if you worked at the trowel.
And what if your name was Marshall? It'd be so confusing.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. Look, We're going to have to find out if that person exists.
Yeah. So make sure that you seek out the Marshalltown trowel either when you get into town or when you're leaving the next morning.
Yeah. All right. Next one on the list is a really cool attraction that I encourage you to stop in the little town of Morrison. I would call it a must-see.
Okay. Well, then it should be on this podcast. So
Thank goodness it is.
Here it is.
Yep. It's the Grundy County Heritage Museum. And I know museum, it sounds like maybe it'll be a snooze fest. It's not.
It is most definitely not.
Yeah.
Something to note is that the building's exterior is unremarkable. It looks like just a huge metal shed. But once you step inside, you will be amazed. So make sure you give yourself some time. There's all kinds of things that you're going to see, such as,
well, first thing you come in the door, you meet the snakes. They're all named Mitch. So you see the snakes. Then a 90-foot diorama. Then a restored 1900s house. Taxidermy of local wildlife, including a bald eagle.
That was really cool.
Which is
Yes.
really, really, really cool.
Yes.
And a massive arrowhead collection. All collected by a local that just happened to have a passion for arrowheads and be in the right place at, I guess, the right time. But it's thoroughly documented, well displayed. And I don't really even know anything about arrowheads, but I thought the display was really interesting, and I know a little bit more now.
Yeah, I agree. There is a lot to see, and I wasn't a big fan of the snakes. One of the Mitches got to come out of the cage, and he or she was very friendly. So I'm not dissing on snakes.
Don't be mean to Mitch.
I wasn't mean. I'm just keep your distance, Mitch. That's all I care about.
I held Mitch. He's all smooth and cool.
Ugh. Yeah. So the Grundy County Heritage Museum is going to be putting up a bunch of signs so that you'll know where this space is. But it's like a smaller metal old windmill that's right in front of the building. So you'll know you've made it when you see that windmill.
I happen to know that RAGBRAI Ride Director Matt Phippen routed the route specifically the way through Morrison that it is so that it goes past the museum.
Oh,
so
great.
if you stay on route, you will pass it.
Okay, cool. Okay, from Morrison, our next must-see is in the overnight town of Independence.
Indeed. We got up close and personal with the Wapsipinicon Mill during route inspection because it was raining and it was great shelter.
It was.
But this is a historic grist mill and museum, and it showcases the milling processes. And it's 6 stories tall. So again, it's kind of unmistakable.
Right.
It's located right on the Wapsipinicon River, right downtown.
Yep. And it's got a beautiful stone foundation the building is made up of because it was built in 1867.
Wow.
Yeah. So it houses exhibits of the history of grist milling, and it's just a beautiful space. So if you don't have time to go in and tour all the history about it, it's right on the Wapsipinicon River. So it's just a beautiful sight to see.
Yeah. I just read this fun fact, and now I'm mad that we didn't get to tour this.
I know.
I'm going to have some words
Isn't
with Nikki.
it cool? It's so cool.
Yeah. So fun fact about Independence is that underneath they have a really great main street. It's filled with shops. They're all open. They're all wonderful. So it's notable as a main street as it is today. But dating back to the 1840s, their whole main street is underneath the current day's main street. They raised the entire area because of flooding, and it is right on the river. And this says that occasionally it can be toured. So I'm going to have to revisit this community.
I know. I did see photos on the interwebs, and it literally is. Like, it literally, you can walk down the street, you can see storefronts.
Oh, how cool.
What? It's just amazing to me.
Mind blown.
Yeah, especially now that we've actually been on the main street. Like, how? What?
I'm going to have some words with Independence. This is the fact that I need to know.
So they did say they do occasional underground tours. I wouldn't count on us being able to go. I mean, there's too many of us, but it's definitely something to, check out the Independence Facebook pages, and maybe there'll be a time when they open it to visitors again.
Yeah, that's why it's on this list of things to check out, not necessarily even during RAGBRAI, any time of year.
I mean, come on, an underground Main Street.
Wow.
It's so cool.
That's pretty neat.
Yes.
But I could see why they wanted to raise things because of the flooding, because it is right on the river, and it's a pretty big river.
Yes.
So,
yep. And I've definitely seen that river flooded multiple times. So,
yeah, it's a dangerous river. Do not approach the river. Do not enter the river. Observe the river from a safe distance.
View the river only.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, now we are almost to the end of our RAGBRAI adventure. We next up is Dyersville, which is another overnight. No,
Yeah.
is it? Yeah,
It sure is.
which is another overnight.
Yeah. So as we approach Dyersville, Murph has shared her family tradition with me, and it is now our tradition to always try to be the first one to spot the spires of this church as you approach Dyersville. The giant, beautiful Basilica of St. Francis Xavier is a parish church in the middle of Dyersville, and it, like I just said, you can see it coming.
Yeah. So it was built back in 1859 to serve German immigrants who began arriving in the area. And as populations increased, the church had to be rebuilt. So in 1889 is when it became the large Gothic revival style that we can see today. It is beautiful.
1956, the church was elevated to minor basilica status, which is crazy because I feel like it's pretty major.
It is, I know.
It's only the 12th church in the U.S. to receive this honor.
Wow.
So that's really special. And like I said, the steeples are visible for miles. They're an impressive height of 212 feet. And inside the church, you'll find 64 large cathedral glass windows. And even the doors to this place are huge.
They are, yeah. We got to tour the Basilica back when we were on a route scouting mission back in, it was really cold out. I can't remember.
I think it was February.
February.
Yeah.
And there was a woman in there that was like, you know how people in the wintertime will mall walk?
Yeah.
She was church walking. So she was just doing laps. And she told us a little bit about the church. And it was really cool to kind of hear her story. But fun fact about the Basilica, it is where my mother got married.
Oh, yay.
I know.
Congratulations, Mrs. Murphy.
Which is pretty cool.
I hope it's where your father got married, too.
It is
Okay,
exactly
good.
where my father
Very
got
good.
married at the same time. Oh my gosh. But growing up, you know, we used to come to Dyersville all the time, and it was the goal while we were driving for my brother and I to see who could see the steeples first. And I can't remember if you saw the steeples first or not. I think I will always win because
It's
I know where
usually
they
you.
are.
I have to be honest, but I think there maybe was one time where I got you,
Yeah.
but I don't know if you'll ever admit that.
So if you're pedaling and kind of llooking out into the horizon, see if you can find the steeples first.
There you go.
With whoever you're riding bikes with.
Yeah, and every time I see this church, I have to just think about the massive effort that it must have been to bring all these glass windows and the beautiful wood and the beautiful sculptures and just, I mean, this is the late 1800s. I mean, how?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just
even
kind
the
of fun.
doors are like, I don't know how tall they are. Let's say they're 20 feet tall. They are like very grand. And I
Yeah.
can only picture, you know, in 1800s, them making these doors and installing them. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So that will round out our top 10 must-see places found on RAGBRAI. But Murph, you promised us a bonus.
I think we should do a bonus.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure everyone's like yelling at their whatever device they're listening to this podcast right now going, you guys are forgetting probably the most talked about place that people will go to when they're on RAGBRAI this year. Go ahead and say it.
All right. It's the Field of Dreams.
Ooh, the Field of Dreams, which is outside of Dyersville. So riders will not see the Field of Dreams until Saturday morning. So don't you worry if Friday afternoon you're walking around Dyersville and you're like, I can't find the Field of Dreams. You'll see it on Saturday.
Yeah, and I would caution you to not try to go see it Friday night, even though it's super tempting because it's quite a ways out of town. They will have their own stuff going on. There'll be a lot of car traffic. It's just wait until Saturday. You'll have plenty of time, and they'll be ready for you. They'll have the food. They'll have everything open. The ghost players will be there. But yeah, okay, so let's walk it back a little bit.
So at the Field of Dreams, it's a huge space, right? So it used to be, you know, all farmland, but now it's split into two distinct things to see.
Yes.
The first one is a brand new permanent Major League Baseball stadium.
Yeah. So this will be the first year that an MLB game takes place in this brand new permanent ballpark. They've had MLB games in this area before, but this time it's permanent. And it's only located a quarter mile from the movie site. And in fact, as you walk into this stadium, there's like a little peephole and you can see the movie
It's
site.
so cool.
It gives you goosebumps.
And I can't wait till we go in July because then the corn will be really high.
Yeah.
I cannot
Yeah.
imagine. It's going to look so different than it did when we were there.
Yeah, it's perfectly manicured in every way. But just a couple weeks after we visit on RAGBRAI, they'll host the Minnesota Twins and the Philadelphia Phillies. So that's August 13th, 2026.
So you're wondering, will we get to actually go into the MLB stadium during RAGBRAI? And the answer is
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got an extended tour because it wasn't complete. It was still under construction. But they did say that riders will get to see a little bit of the actual stadium. We had specific rules. We could not go anywhere near the turf, the grass, whatever it's called on the field. So I assume that will be the same for RAGBRAI,
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
which was fine.
Yeah. We got some cool pictures. Hopefully we can do a before and after of some of the murals that are there.
Yep.
And it's just a really special spot to stay. But then you got to keep going on
Yeah.
to
The movie site from the actual Field of Dreams movie. And I think I'm making this up, but AP, don't you think that little walk or bike ride, it was about a quarter of a mile from the Major League Baseball stadium to the Field of Dreams. I feel like that's going to be a tunnel of corn when we go through. I don't know if it will be, but don't you think?
I think it just might be.
How cool will that be?
super
Like that
cool.
kind of gives me the goosebumps right
Yeah.
now. But anyway, the Field of Dreams, that movie was from the late 80s.
Yep.
And Kevin Costner was the star of it. So if you haven't watched the movie Field of Dreams, it might be time.
I mean, is this heaven? No, it's Iowa.
Iowa. So of course the original ball field is still there. The wooden bleachers that were in the movie, there's actually a carving that says Ray Loves Annie. And I think in the movie it was on the bottom bleacher and they moved it to the top. So that's kind of a cool little fun fact.
Yeah. So it was really neat to be there. When I mentioned that they'll have the ghost players there, what I mean is that if you watch the movie, there's a scene in which baseball players from the past come into today from the field. And so they're ghosts. And it's a really special moment. And this movement all started when someone who lived nearby decided to kind of prank people who were visiting the movie site.
No way.
So they dressed up in these old-timey White Sox outfits and came out of the corn and then took pictures with people.
Yeah.
And they really only planned on doing it the one time, but there was a lot of popular demand and they basically made them start coming back and dressing up. And now they're at the field every single weekend and they've traveled all over the world as ghost players. And some of the gentlemen who are on this ghost player team were in the actual movie.
Yeah, they were
so
in the
it's
movie.
really cool.
Yeah. But while you're there, you can run the bases. You can sit on the bleachers that I spoke about. You can get your photo with some of the ghost players. And then there's a place called the Dugout, which is just a little walk past the house that was in the movie. And you can go in there and see all kinds of memorabilia from the movie, kind of some fun facts about Shoeless Joe. And I hope they have those cinnamon rolls that we sampled.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
To die for.
Yeah, they had hot dogs too. Oh my gosh, it was so good. But I did think that either the Major League Baseball stadium or the movie site will have Bloody Marys, all kinds of non-alcoholic drinks, some food samples. So you can have your first or second breakfast when you come through.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult to get people to leave because it's so fun and so cool and so memorable. I mean, even if you haven't seen the movie, which you should, it's classic Americana.
It is. It's Iowa at its best.
There you go. It's
Actually,
heaven.
this yes, you're right. This whole week is Iowa at its best.
Yeah, absolutely. And just so cool. All right. Well, that rounds up our 10 of the must-see places found on RAGBRAI among the many, many, many must-see places on
Many,
RAGBRAI
many.
53.
Yes. All right. Well, AP, we should get out, ride our bikes, and maybe go explore some of these sites.
I kind of feel like playing baseball all of a sudden.
All right.
All right, look, batter up.
Well, listeners, that is it for today. We want to thank you for tuning in to listen to the Just Go Bike podcast. If you would like to contact Murph and AP with a comment about the podcast, or maybe even you have a topic in mind, you can reach us at justgobikepodcast@gmail.com. Please follow us on Instagram and Facebook and watch our intros on YouTube. And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast, especially if you're a fan. That is going to do it for this week. Until next time,
Just go bike.
theme song by Ryan Steer, Logo by Suzanne Milosevic. Produced by Kathy Murphy. Social media by Andrea Parrott. Intro by Pumpkin. Until next time, just go bike.